Hello everybody, welcome to another one. Today I got another fantastic unboxing to do. Something that I've been waiting for. It came in the mail today, and that is the Sega Genesis Mini 2. Just came in, fantastic. Been waiting for this for a while. This is based off the Genesis 2, and this has 60 plus games, and I think it has 61 total, if I'm correct. And I can't wait to check this out. This has Sega CD games, and it has a little bit different games from the Genesis also, and a couple of unreleased games. I think a total of 6 or 7 unreleased. So without further ado, sit back and let's check it out. Okay, so here is the Sega Genesis Mini 2, fresh from Japan. This is the 16-bit video game system based off the Model 2 of the Sega Genesis. I do have the original Mini here, the first one they had. I have a little wireless dongle for it, for the wireless 8-bit DO controller. But there it is, fantastic. This was good, and my custom-made Michael Jackson's Moonwalker cartridge there, as you can see, which is fantastic. So hopefully these little carts that I have Altered Beast here. What do we have? Oh, this is a bad label. Oh, it's not too bad, I guess. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We have Streets of Rage 2 and Castlevania Bloodlines. So these are pretty cool. Sorry, the glare there. So pretty cool little mini carts. I'll show it one more time because the glare was probably blasting in the eyes. There's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mini cart and the Altered Beast. So hopefully these will fit in it. They fit in that. So anyways, here is the Sega Genesis Mini 2. So without further ado, sit back and let's check it out. Okay, so let's open it up. Dig into this bad boy. Now the box is really tiny. It's like just as big as my hand. It is basically the whole box the size of the Mini 1 version that they came out with. So it's basically really tiny. And so you get HDMI cable. This is the controller. I can feel it. This is the HDMI to Mini B. Looks like, just by looking at it. Too bad it's not USB-C, if it is. There's your HDMI. And let's see how tiny this is. I keep hearing it's really small. And oh, it feels small, right? Anything else? Oh, a power brick in the box there. I'll move all this aside. And we'll take a look at that cable in a second. Let's take a look at the system itself first. The star of the show. And there it is, based off the Model 2 of the Sega Genesis. And it is tiny. It is about 10% smaller, maybe, than the original. And do the carts fit? The carts do. They were always tight before. Let me take a look later on that. They close to fitting. I'm not sure if they fit or not. They were made for the Model 1. I'll give it a test later on, see if I can put one of these carts in there or not. It would look cool if I can. Maybe just shave it down a little tiny bit. There it is, and on the back, that's a Mini B. So an HDMI out and Mini B, not Mini C. So I think the first one, did it have C or B? Oh, it also had Mini B. So same. So there's no difference there. No USB-C, unfortunately. Power switch does move on and off, and the reset button. And there's a side port. So they had a Sega CD attachment for it, and you could order in Japan for, I think it was 50-60 bucks, but it's already sold out. So hopefully they get in stock again. So I'd like to get it in through Play Asia. And let's take a look at this real fast. One of these are Sega branded. I think it's the power cable itself. It says Sega on it. Yes, it does say, you can't see it through the packaging, but the USB-B to mini B cable does have the Sega logo on it. Right there. I know the HDMI doesn't. That's what everyone was saying, but this does. It's kind of a little cool to have a little Sega branded HDMI cable. And let's check out the controller real fast. Here is the 6-button controller, which is actually bigger than the system itself. Haha. Feels pretty light. Feels good to me. People were saying it's a little tight, but it loosens up, so we'll see. But it feels good to me. I used to use this controller a lot. So without further ado, sit back and let's check out the games. Okay, so let me choose my language here. Now I'm going to go through the games pretty fast and show them off. So Afterburner 2, Alien Soldier, Atomic Runner, Bonanza Brothers, Clay Fighters, Crusader of Century, Desert Strike, Devi and Pi, Earthworm Jim, Echo the Dolphin. I think Devi and Pi is unreleased, or I know it's unreleased. That's one of the unreleased games. Echo the Dolphin, Elemental Master, Fantasy Zone, Fatal Fury 2, Final Fight CD, Echo the Dolphin, Tides of the Future I meant, Gain Ground, Golden Axe 2, Grenada, Hellfire, Herzog Zwei, and let's see here, Lightning Force, Quest of the Dark Star, Mansion of Hidden Souls, Midnight Resistance, Night Strikers, Night Trap. Alright, Night Trap's a pretty cool game. Well, not cool, but it's a very important game. Outrun, Outrunners, Phantasy Star 2, Populous, Rainbow Islands Extra, Ranger X, Rise Star, Robo Alesti, Rolling Thunder 2, Sewer Shark. Rolling Thunder 2 is a great one. Shadow Dancer, Secrets of Shinobi, Shining Force CD, Shining Force 2, and Shining in the Darkness, all three fantastic. Sylphid, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic CD, Space Harrier 2, Spatter, Splatterhouse 2. Let's see here, Star Mobile, Streets of Rage 3, Super Hang-On, Super Locomotive, Super Street Fighter 2, The New Challengers, The Ninja Warriors, The Ooze, The Revenge of Shinobi, which is another fantastic game, Toe Jam and Earl, Panic and Funkatron, Truxton, Vectorman 2, Viewpoint, Virtual Racing, Puyo Puyo Sun, and Warsong, which I believe is another unreleased game. There's a couple in there that I've skipped that were unreleased too, but that's one of them. And like I said, I've spent about 2 weeks playing this system. Well, I'm going to show off the games, but you can also change the view of the way you can look at it. So you can either use the look at the cartridges dead on, or you can just look at the spines like it's on a shelf. And you've got some settings here. The screens, you either get the 4x3 or the 16x9 full screen there, or the original 4.3. You get the wallpapers, plenty to choose from. As you can see, I'll go through it real fast here, and then I'll stop and try them out. But I prefer black screen, but you do have these different wallpapers, so if you don't like the 4x3 being exposed with some black screen, you can change and add some wallpaper. But I just prefer like a black wallpaper on the outside, but you have your choices there. And now we'll check out the sound options. You either get the Type 1 Genesis or Type 2. So you get the different choices there. Oh, and this is the credits. So it's got the Sega CD logo there. I'm just gonna quick show it off, not really go through it. Here's Afterburner 2. We'll start checking out some of the games. Now, I gotta say, I really am enjoying this system. I've been playing it with it 2 weeks. Been playing some games all the way through and really enjoying. Right now I'm playing Shining in the Darkness, an RPG that I played back in the day. There are quite a few fantastic games. I would say anybody 30 years probably or older is really going to enjoy this. They probably grew up with a Genesis, and I'm sure some of the younger generation may even like this. They may find some games on here that are interesting. Here is Echo the Dolphin on the Sega CD. Now, I played Echo the Dolphin quite a bit on the Sega Genesis, but it really looks beautiful on the Sega CD. It just runs really nice, and I'm really enjoying it. But as you can see, Echo is pretty fluid movements, everything. There's no stutters, frame rate issues. This mini unit is fantastic. I would say definitely the Mini 1 has more of your mainstream games, whereas the Mini 2 has all the other games you would want to get, and the hidden gems and some of the more rare ones you wouldn't see. So the first one, like I said, mainstream games. Second one has quite a few games that are not as mainstream but really good, and quite a few like this here, unreleased games, and some games with new touch-ups, such as well, I forget what it is, but there's one game on here I'll show off in a few minutes here that has some new elements added to it. But as you can see, this unreleased game is pretty fun. I was trying to figure it out at first. I thought you hit him with the paddle dead on, but you kind of hit from the side and kind of bounce him, ricochet, and try to knock that angel out of his cage there. So pretty interesting. Night Striker, never played this on the Sega CD, but pretty awesome game actually. It's kind of like a cyberpunk, cyber future, and I'm guessing you're in some kind of law enforcement chasing people down, and you got this type of vehicle here. It's a shooter, and yes, it is pixelated nowadays, but for its day it was pretty cool and definitely interesting. I played quite a bit of it. I'm gonna have to play through more of it and beat it if I one day, hopefully. It's a tough game. I'm not good at shooters really, but very interesting, pretty cool. I never heard of this one either. Mansion of Hidden Souls. Kind of going through a house that's been, and people are supposedly, there's a legend that they're being turned into butterflies in this mansion. So it's interesting games, kind of like an explorer, and explore different rooms, find clues and so on. But pretty interesting story, pretty good graphics I bet for its day, and I'm definitely going to be playing more of this after I finish my Shining in the Darkness, which is like a dungeon crawler RPG, which is interesting. I'm also reviewing the Atari 50th anniversary, so I'll be doing that soon. Here is an interesting one, Alien Soldier. I played this one really late into the cycle of the Genesis, probably well after it was off the market because I didn't know about it. But pretty interesting game. It's a run and gun game. What makes it interesting is the customization you can do to your character, such as the types of weapons he carries, his loadout, and you can switch weapons pretty much on the fly. So it's a pretty interesting game. It's a pretty in-depth game, and then I think you're basically an alien bounty hunter from what I'm gathering. So a very interesting game, and pretty challenging. Golden Axe 2, fantastic classic, and really good. Definitely worth owning this one on this collection. This is a great one to play. Everyone who grew up back in my day will definitely love this game, for those people who love hack and slash games, because definitely this is the Golden Axe 2 is one of the great games of the time, and this plays really good. Like I said, everything on here runs really smooth. I haven't ran into any problems. And virtual racing, I never was a fan of this game. but it was important for the time for the types of graphics it was showing, because we didn't see games like this. And of course now it's very blocky, but still interesting part of history and worth checking out at least. And it's like I said, it's interesting. I wouldn't say it's a great game, but it's definitely interesting, especially for the type of graphics that it was pulling off that was not heard of. And we were seeing this run back in the day, because I think they use a special chip, if I'm correct, inside the cartridge to make it run like this. But very interesting game. So as you see, there are tons of games in this collection. Tons of good games, unreleased games, and games you haven't seen on the Sega CD. So pretty cool, definitely worth checking out. I would say this is great for especially anybody that grew up with this system, probably in their 30s and older, because they will really see some hidden gems, some retro goodness that they grew up with or played back in the day. So it definitely makes a great stocking stuffer. As you can see, tons of different genres of games here. You got your fighters, you got your brawler games, you got your puzzle games, you got your hack and slash, you got some RPGs, got a little everything. Anyways, that is it for this episode. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and as always, have a good one. Take care, everybody. Until next time.